the fuck happened to those days? You know what happened? I'll show you. This is what happened. How are you, mate? Having a bit of a problem, right? Huh? As soon as you use the word problem now, this is what happens. Oh, man, here we go. That's what happens. Point in question. We're going to start off by this. Right. I need to explain myself because I've come to realise, and I hope Mary's got me in focus here, I have come to realise very quickly about suffering from depression. And that's what is used, right? That's what people use, is depression, mental health, PTSD, and stuff like that. I recognise the understanding of PTSD, I do. That is trauma to the brain. That is physical trauma to the brain. I think mental health, and the wording of mental health and depression, right, is way overused. It's exploited, and it is basically raped, pillaged, and prostituted by certain people that aren't suffering depression, that aren't suffering from mental health. They use those terms as conveniences to get themselves out of the shit or to walk away from responsibilities and even things that they've caused, right? They don't wish to take ownership, right? Point in question with what happened to me on Friday, right? I had a very bad day. A very bad day, right? As you can tell, we're in the van, right? We're supposed to be going and helping a friend move, and nothing's done yet, right? But that's all right. We bought coffees, and that we bought cakes for ourselves, right? And you know, my mate didn't tell me that his wife is also lactose intolerant, and I told him I bought him a lactose-free latte, and he didn't bother to tell me that his wife's lactose intolerant, so I went down the street and I got another. You know why I did that? Because Mary and I are nice people. And as I said to Mary when we were leaving the coffee shop, and we were talking about the whole of today, the start of today, just hang on, is what's happened with society is this. The nice people that are in the world, the nice people, okay? The nice people who gave a shit, the nice people who stopped to strangers and to any incident and rendered a hand, right? Okay? The nice people who can understand that song that was playing, right? Okay? You know what's happened to those people? And I'm sure Desi and Andrew, Scroat, all of these people, you know who you are, Dave, Helen, I mean, there's that many of you. And I said this morning, I said, since I've made this channel, I have really, I won't say the names, right? I won't do that. But I have really made, I won't say friendships, relationships, really good, deep relationships with people from opening up this channel, right? Which, as I've said, is your channel, right? It's our channel. It's a community channel to talk to each other. And I've also seen people, the ones who've come to be my friends through this channel with ulterior motives, to say that they know JB, or they wish to get on the bandwagon, whatever be the case, or to exploit me for whatever reasons, and that to use in regards to having me do things for them or give them advice is to make me think that they're keeping me busy, when in actual fact they're not. They're just using me. So be careful of that. Be careful of that. Okay? You couldn't get a fucking, it's on a Sunday, it's Mother's Day, and fucking cunts are still fucking rocking around, you know? So, but if you understand what I mean, so be careful of those people. Be careful of those people who their true agenda is to make out that you're needed, and that they want to make you feel valued and stuff, but then they're getting you to do things for them. That's using. All right, and I'll bring you up to speed just like I have. Okay? As I said to Mary, you can always tell the people who are using you, because the only thing they know how to say is this: "Oh, thanks, mate. Thanks for that. But you know what? That don't. It does. You know what words aren't in their vocabulary? Is here you go. You get that? Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, thanks. You know, yeah, thank you. Thanks. Right? But they never say, here you go, because they're never giving you nothing back. It's always, thanks, mate. Thanks, mate. Thanks, mate. You know, talk about fucking spit the fucking dummy. The fucking dummy. But anyway, good thing that's not fucking real. It'll take out the other tooth. Well, actually, it's gone. That's gone too. Right. Anyway, so first of all, the day is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there who's got a mum, and also happy Mother's Day for those people who've lost a mother, and you're going to pay your respects to her. And also to those people who've lost a mum, maybe the tragic way that I have, and maybe you can't yet say Happy Mother's Day because you feel you just haven't come to terms with the fact how they left this world. You can accept how a person has left this world due to cancer or illness or something, or just old age. You know, they've just their time was up. But for people who've taken that time into their own hands and taken the time themselves and checked out, for those ones who've left behind, who can't yet say Happy Mother's Day, I understand that. As much as yeah. So that's that song. So what happened to that? So as I was saying, again, I went off a bit off track then. So as I said to Mary, I said, what's happened in the world is the very, very nice people, the ones who stop and everything else like that, the ones who used to stop and ones who used to care and the ones who used to pay attention in the street and stop and help strangers and everything without no worries whatsoever, right? I said this to Mary. I said, you know what? Those people have stopped being nice. Not that they've joined forces with the ones who weren't already nice, which were the scuds of this world, right? But so these people who've stopped being nice, they're not neither rude anymore, they're just not stopping anymore. They're not showing their willingness to help. They're not being nasty, they're just ignoring. They see it, but no one's out there. And that's sad. And that is sad. You know, they're like zombies. Those ones that just walk through life going, believe me, they see everything, and they were the nice people. And they've just stopped giving anymore. They've stopped being nice. And it's, Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, how many cars can you get? Where are these fucking, I mean, honestly, you know? I know I'm parked at a fucking intersection, but there's a fucking dead end road behind me, and that goes nuts. It's like a fuck. These places, mate, Werribee and Roxburgh Park and fucking Caroline Springs. I told Mary this. They built them like a fucking rabbit warren. This is like being in the realistic fucking movie scene of Watership Downs. Okay, it's just a fucking rabbit warren, and they live amongst them fucking selves. They only come out to steal everyone else's fucking carrots and cabbages, and that fucking cunts, and that. So. And that's what I said to Mary. Those people have stopped being nice. They haven't stopped caring. They haven't stopped whatever, but they don't show it anymore. Their willingness to open up the hand, it's not there anymore because they're sick of being not appreciated, not thought of, and not having. Not that they do it to have it returned, but and not even by you, but just no one's returning it. So they've just gone. You know what? I'm just going to not fall into the norm and be a not nice person to others. I'm just going to not be nice. That's sad. Jesus. Now you're going out to get Mum a Mother's Day present with your kid. Anyway, so that's today's video. Happy Mother's Day and stuff. In regards to the first song, Knocking on Heaven's Door. Today might be a day where a lot of people might be doing that because they miss your mum. You might be looking at Heaven's Door. And I'm going to talk about that, and I'm talking about Suicide David now. For those ones who are sitting there going, I'm going to check out. Yeah, I've had enough, I'm checking out. Right? let me just say a couple of things before you do that, okay? To have you understand the strength or the due diligence that you should be putting into yourself or into the thought of committing suicide, right? Okay? Jesus fucking Christ, another time. Right, anyway, just hit pause, we'll find another, just hit pause. Right, we've moved the van now, it's a bit quieter now. It's a bit shadier too, you probably got a better look at me, right? So, where was I? So, yes, for those people who are maybe contemplating or thinking about suicide and that, and I know it's a grim topic, I understand that, and it's one that people sort of shy away from talking about, and that, but I think it needs to be spoken about. It's easy to say don't do it. It's easy to say that to people. Don't do it. What are you thinking? But you're not explaining yourself, and that when you're saying that to somebody who is contemplating, hurting themselves, or even worse, someone who's thinking about taking out their own life, and before they do that, they want to take out their family with them. Do you know what I mean? And that happens. That's the facts. They're the facts. That can happen. So I'm talking about murder-suicide and that. So for the people who are thinking about doing any of those acts, taking your own life or taking out others as well as then yourself, right? And that, let me just point out a couple of things. First of all, think about the people that are going to come and find your bodies. Okay? Being the first responders. Okay? The trauma that they have to go through to see that. Now, yes, they see that type of thing, I won't say every day, but they see it quite often. And to think that they're not traumatised by it, they are. All right? The other thing is this. If you have not taken due diligence into sorting out your problem as soon as you have a thought of hurting yourself, right? Meaning seeking help, talking to family members, talking to friends, or even talking to a fucking stranger, right? Changing your scenery, not your life place, but your scenery. Get out of where you are, say you're at home, go for a walk, get on your motorbike, go for a drive, do something to change your scenery, to clear your head, to think about what you've just thinking about. Did he just write pass?
Yep.
And what is it with 40-year-old men that just turned 40 all of a sudden want to get into fucking lycra gear and look like a female from behind? What is that? I don't get that. He spent fucking 35 plus years abusing motorcyclists, cyclists on the way to work. All of a sudden he turns fucking 40 or 50. Oh, you know what? I'm going to become a pain in the ass, right? And I'm going to put on lycra gear and I'm going to show my bottom off and I'm going to look like a female from behind and give all these men drivers, oh yeah, look at that. Oh, when you realise it's got a dick. So anyway, getting back to suicide. So if you just get it in your fucking head to go, oh, that's it, I'm going to kill myself, or however you do it, that's shit. That is not, and I'll say this, as harsh as it is, that is not responsible suicide. Okay? If you can see that, that is not responsible. You have not done the groundwork to understand your feeling, to even be able to justify taking your life, because you haven't sought help. You haven't sought what the problem is. I mean, you know what? People have broken a bone, whatever, have ridden motorbikes, crashed them, whatever else like that. You know what? I've done many things in my life where I've done, and it's turned out for the worst. Crashed my motorbike. Broke my knees. That wasn't my fault. That was a car. But what it did was, what I learned out of those experiences was this: I'm more aware. Okay, I looked at why. I looked at how. I looked at how I was riding, even whether it was my fault or not. Right, to take steps so it didn't happen again, or to minimise it again. So you're looking at taking your life, and as people say, and I'm sort of fucking sick of this saying, you're going to make it a permanent solution to a short-term problem. That's what they use for suicide. So you take your life. That's a long-term decision, outcome for its short-term problem. I beg to differ with that, because sometimes if you want to use the word mental health and that, or depression, or whatever, I'm not putting PTSD in there, because that's what I suffer from, and I respect the ones that do clearly suffer from it. That is an injury. It's not a feeling. It's an injury first that makes you feel, but it's an injury. Okay? Depression is not an injury. That's a feeling, and it's a thought. Okay? Let's make this quite clear. I'm not a doctor, but I know me facts about this. PTSD is trauma to the fucking brain. Okay? Okay, your brain has suffered a trauma, right? Okay, so people are confusing the two, right? But if you were going to take suicide and you haven't done you're going to take suicide as the way out, and you haven't done your due diligence, shame on you, because it might only take something very simple to change your whole outlook on life. You know, your whole outlook. Now, as much as I did I did take my own life, and I failed, only because I laughed, otherwise I wouldn't be here, right? I'm going to make this brutally fucking honest with you right now to all my viewers. I fight taking my own life every day. And it's just not once a day. It's many times during the day. Okay? So if you want to talk about a battle of suicide, I'm it. And not just me, there's many other people out there who fight suicide every hour, minute, every 2 hours, more than once in a day. I fight taking my own life, and there's many, many people out there who do, and we're still here. Why? Because we recognise the signs, right? And you've got to get up and you've got to do something. You need to talk about it. You need to bring up certain points. There's none of this hushness anymore. Like with Mary, I've had to since talk to Mary saying, listen, I know when I say something and I do have to finish. And she goes, yeah, you always have to finish. She's learnt now, through me educating her, to not shut me down. I've got to finish, because if I don't finish, and Mary's got the phone on the angle, I can see it right here, right? And that, I've got to finish. And that's what she's got to get used to now, because of what she did, wrong or right, to bring this on, that's allowed to come on. Not all her, but things that happened in our life, right? There's a starting point to everything. Mary was the start. She was the main bit, but not the whole growing of it. That was everybody else that came in, right? Mary and I are fine. We're working through it. She's now become, understanding, being, Calabrese fucking Italian. That's very fucking hard. So I've won over there, right? But, so what I'm saying is you are a very, very selfish person if you do not do your due diligence on how to rectify the thought of taking your own life, and you just go and do it. You're a selfish person, okay? For those people who have taken the steps and exhausted every channel out there, every channel, no matter, even if it's talking to a stranger, watching a bird make a nest, something to break that thought, and you take your life, I understand. I really understand that. And it's hard. And you know what? I don't feel ill thoughts for those people who've taken their life. You may have seen on the news that recently the young footballer who took his life out of the blue, right? I forget his name. But anyway, so it can come on that quick. And for people to say that they didn't see the signs, that's a load of shit. That is a load of shit. The signs are well and truly there. And it just brings me back to the point of this. It's because the nice people have stopped being nice. And people who are suffering, we have to jump through hoops. We have to do all of it. We have to make people recognise us, our suffering. That's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You don't see something in distress and wait for it to say, can you come and help me, or can you give me, no, you see something in distress and you go to it immediately. That doesn't happen anymore. It's a very rare thing. I'm a person where, and I'm like many others, if I see someone or something in distress, I'll go straight over. I don't wait to ask me. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. Mary's going to sleep here. So anyway, so that's my thoughts on that, right? So if you're thinking about taking your own life, you've woken up and gone, on whatever, I'm going to do it, fuck it, right? And you haven't taken those steps to understand why you're thinking that, and how to maybe get out of it in many different ways, and you just take your life on the whim like that, that's selfishness. But on the other brink of the scale, for the people who have taken all those steps and looked at all those avenues and exhausted every avenue, and you're just stuck within a situation or in a part of the world, financially, family-wise, whatever, but you have exhausted every, and I mean exhausted every channel, right? I understand. I really do, and that I exhaust every channel, and what I do is, like what I said, I become an inappropriate erection. I don't actually expose my penis, but I will show that I have an erection in my pants. You know what? And that's shock value. It gets a rise out of people. It breaks my train of thought from maybe offending you, right, to get my mind thought off maybe something silly I'm thinking about that's depressing me. So I'm really not offending you. And for those people who fucking know me, right now we're on that. For those people who think I'm offending you or I'm out there to offend people, if you fucking know me, you know that I don't offend people, because I'd rather just tell you to fuck off if I've got to explain who I am to you and you say you know me, if you understand that. So you know I'm not a rude person. You know I don't like offending people. But if you've taken whatever I've fucking said, yeah, to heart, and you say you fucking know me, or you know someone who does really know me and you're not listening to that person, right, then fuck off. Because I don't like to offend people. I like to help people. I like to be there for people. Strangers, everybody, as I do with this channel. I speak rawness, right? And as for the first song, that's what a lot of people are doing now. They're knocking on heaven's door, right? And I'm making this day on a day that's Mother's Day and I don't have a mum. I'll end the video now because it's taken too long. But I will do a follow-up video to what happened to me on Friday, and it led me to the police station and the outcome of that. All right? So see you later. Go get a pie. Have a great day to all you mums and your kids. Make your mums happy and enjoy the day with them. Take care. Go get a pie.